Hello and welcome to week 2 in research methods, and exciting times here. So week 1 has passed. We're into week 2, and we're going to start talking about ethics right off the bat, talking about the ethics involved in doing psychological research. So the first discussion is a straight out, why do we need ethics when we're talking about humans and animals? Why do we need ethical guidelines? This is an opinion piece. This is what value systems do you have that you feel we should evoke in order to protect those that we study. I gotta tell you that oftentimes the ethical considerations for a study make it difficult to discover things. It does. So there's of course, I'm not in favor of doing unethical studies, but it does make it difficult for researchers to find the real causal factors associated with many things. That's just the way it is. And just let's have a discussion about those particular things after you're reading and all that stuff. Then we go into a quiz. Now, the quiz is a series of 4 questions regarding a study that is described in the course book assessment section. So if we went there, you would see that here's chapter 2, and here's the quiz in question. This is the study right there. That's what I'm asking you to consider. An instructor is interested in studying the use of cell phones in his classroom. He wants to have a teaching assistant record the number of times he sees students using the cell phones during class time. And then you answer these questions about the ethical considerations of that particular study. That's it. Not your study that you're doing, not any random study, that one, the cell phone one. That's what I want you to consider for those 4 questions. Now, let me talk about the special assignments. Now, these are all related to the study that you're going to do this semester, and there's 10 of them, getting you all the way through the process of conducting a study. Posted it in different places, but I'm taking a mastery approach for each one of these. So what that means is, now, not all of you have submitted the first one. That's okay. Get it done. And that is the reviewing your proposal. We even have one student here, not review. She's brand new to this class, took statistics elsewhere from a far inferior person, I'm sure. No, I'm just kidding. Doesn't have that existing document that many of us had because you took statistics with me. We prepared that document at the end of statistics, and we're carrying that over now into research methods. That was the first one. You need to get that done and submitted. In fact, all of these, you need to get them done and submitted by the due date, first draft. So I was looking for that phrase. Get the first draft in there. I don't care how complete it is. I want to see, there's 8 of us, I want to see 8 submissions, and then we got a place to work. My approach to each one of these assignments is my expectations is that they are going to be perfect, meaning the title page is full-blown APA format. Don't worry about abstracts. That's not what I'm just looking for the assignment. Skip the abstract part in terms of references to APA format. Just the title page, and then the assignment, and then references page. References, not cited, not anything, and just references, and then hanging indent, double space format for that, in-text citations. That's what all of that for all of these assignments, whatever that's applicable. Everyone will get a 0 on that assignment unless it's perfect. There's only 2 grades available, 0 and 100. That's how I'm approaching it. Almost like, attendance. Anybody who's taking attendance with me, you're there or you're not. There's no 50. And so that's the way. Now you have the opportunity. You submit that first assignment, like everybody who submitted the first one, you're submitting it. I'm going to grade it, mark it all up. Then I'm going to send it back to you. You're going to redo it and resubmit it. I'm going to grade it, mark it all up. It's a 0, 0, 0, 0 all the time until it's perfect. Then you get a 100. And there'll be, I might comment on, if we've been fooling around with it long enough, I'll be like, okay, just fix this last thing and we're going to be all set. I might still put feedback in there, but it will be perfect enough for me. I don't want to drag it on for you to get the 100. So for each one of you that successfully completes this class, you're going to have 10 assignments that are 100 because that's the only acceptable grade. So here we are in week 2, where you're going to be doing your informed consent. You're going to be reading about that in Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 provides a nice outline as to what's supposed to be in your informed consent. This relates to the study that you are going to be doing in this class. This is the informed consent document that will eventually be sent out to all of your subjects. So it relates to your study. So you're answering these questions, or you're including this material in your informed consent in a manner that is introducing your future subjects to the study you're going to be doing in this class. In Chapter 2, you will find an outline of what needs to be included. Here we are on page 48. Here in Chapter 2, we have the informed consent, this document. The IC documentation must contain the following components. Right along there, all the way, there's 8 components. And the process also includes a time for participants to ask questions. That might depend on whether you're doing something face-to-face, because there's always like, okay, here's the informed consent. If you're doing face-to-face informed consent, you go over all of that stuff. Anybody have any questions? That kind of thing at the end. If you're going to be doing like an online survey or something like that, you'd put at the end, please contact me at this email if you have any questions prior to, participating. I'll be helping you to actually determine how you're actually going to distribute that information. It all depends on your research design. And so, in addition to that outline, you saw it on the screen just a second ago, I've also included a link to an example consent form. So make it look like that, right? I clicked on it. I haven't looked at this for a while. Hopefully it's still working. Here's a sample consent form. That is what your paper that you submit to me should have a title page and should then look just like that. Make it look just like that from page 2 on. Title page, all the same fonts. Remember all that, 12-point font, no fancy title pages. Nope, unacceptable. You get your 0 when if you're doing some colored thing or some template. They're supposed to be boring. The exciting thing's supposed to be your writing. So not the way that you figured something. Very different than the slideshow with the exciting thing's supposed to be your images, right? These are supposed to be all boring. So title page, running header, look it up, how to do that. There's actually some resources in the course book about that. And then for this assignment, consent, informed consent in bold, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. Make it look just like this. Very straight. Of course, you're changing all this information to be specific to your study. And keep in mind, this is a developmental process. When you get a 0, that's not a bad thing. That means you still have room for improvement and you're getting your money's worth. Really, that's what you want to fail. If you knew all this stuff before you came in, I'm wondering why you're taking the class. So the idea is to learn from these processes. So that's why I'm taking the mastery approach to that. So my final message is here, cut my video a little short here. If you have not submitted an assignment for the first one, you need to get in touch with me first. Well, you need to get it done. Get in touch with me. I'm going to start grading those probably later today. I want to really be on top of those. I have a structure within my day over the summer to make sure that I'm grading these. There's only 8 of us. Should be able to get that back to you. Don't fall too far behind, but you have to do all of these assignments. You can't skip that first one and just do the second one. So if you don't get it done, I'm going to be chasing you down. So make sure you get that done. Also, I think there's one person that hasn't submitted the assignment for chapter 1, like the other assignment that goes along with the chapter. Get everything done. Every piece of this class is geared to you being in a very good place by the end of this class to go on to another degree or even to conduct your own work. So please get everything done. Design this class specifically based on my experience as a researcher, but also on taking a gazillion research methods classes. So the things that you need to know. So I'm really enjoying the discussions. It's really great. Get all the work in. Understand you're probably going to have to deal with a couple zeros while you're perfecting this. I'm holding a very high bar. Don't worry about that too much. Once you have the title page thing done, I shouldn't ever have to grade that again, right? Should be the same. Oh, and in your title page, you put the name of the assignment as I named it. So the name of that Dropbox, with special assignments. So it'd be like Informed Consent Special Assignment. That's the name of it. That would be the title of your paper, is always the name of the assignment. So make sure that's in there and you're golden. All right. So enough of today. We're into chapter 2, looking at ethical guidelines. There's actually some really cool videos of some of the most famous and bizarre studies that I've done in the past that actually evoked the need for us to have ethical guidelines when we're dealing with human beings and studying them in any way. So enjoy these resources about what we used to do. And I look forward to seeing your ever-evolving study. I'm particularly anxious to see these first assignments from this last week that have been due, and then get that feedback out to you. And so sometimes you'll be working on perfecting an old assignment while you're getting the next one in, the first draft of the next one in. The first drafts need to be on the due date. So make sure that you always do that, or I'll be chasing you down. I don't want you to move forward and, be out of sequence, because we're supposed to be thinking all alike as we move through this class. Reach out to your peers, cheat, share information. This is what I did. Here's what that's perfectly okay. When I took research methods, we met as a class to get instruction, and then we met and just shared everything we were learning with everybody that was there. Like, how are you doing this? How are you wording this? If you want to do that, you want to connect with people and work on projects together, totally supportive of that kind of networking in this class. It should be that way. You should be learning from each other. The barrier to that is that we're online. So if we can mitigate some of those barriers, either by Zooming or coordinating a meeting for a Zoom conference or something, I am totally game. Just discuss and organize it in the course lounge, and I'll be responsive to whatever role you want me to play in helping in that coordination. So we're all together in this. And so it's us against the forces of evil that want you to fail this class, and we will persevere. And so good luck this week, and enjoy the weather. Hopefully you're not taking too much. Hopefully you still enjoy some things outside and do all that. And I look forward to reading all of these assignments and your discussions. Have a great week.